Why do you spend money on what is not bread and your wages on what will not be good to you? Listen carefully to me. Eat what is good. Then your soul will delight itself in abundance. Welcome to the Pillars Golden Moments once again. And I'm always excited because on this program, we learn wisdom to take us to the next height in our lives. Yes, and we always have wonderful guests to baffle us with wisdom beyond imagination. And today is no less than any other day, and even better because we have a distinguished personality in our midst. She is in the person of Mrs. Florence Ofori Agyemang. Yes, that name sounds familiar because it's a British name. Yeah, she is the CEO of Bakerz Relish, a wonderful food, they sell good bread, they bake excellent, wonderful bread cakes, anything yummy. And that is the honorable guest we have in our midst this day. Pillars, we are always pleased. All this while, we've been talking about talents. Today, can you guess the topic? Yeah, it's a little bit, you got it right. My talent, my bread and more. My talent, my bread and more. And who else can talk about bread better than Auntie Florence? Auntie Florence, you're welcome to the Pillars Golden Moments.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I've observed your show and I've been watching most of it, and I can say you're doing quite a very good work.
Oh.
Because I know people are really benefiting from whatever you're doing, and so kudos. I give you thumbs up.
Oh, I'm blushing. Thank you so much. When honorable women like this give you such encouraging words, you take it very strongly. Thank you so much. Because I know you're also doing so great in the land of Sunyani, beyond, even in Accra and other regions. Bread all over the place. Really, is bread a blessing or a curse? I made you laugh.
Yeah, quite, yes. I mean, I think in this world, discovering and claiming something you love to do would always unearth some kind of talent within you that others will learn from. And bread, I wouldn't say bread is a curse. Bread is life anyway. Even the Holy Book talks about bread and in so many ways. But one thing you should know about me, or a little about me, is I never started as a baker.
Really?
Because I've been working with the second cycle schools I worked with them for 17 years.
Wow.
Before I ventured into the bread business. Wow. And if you care to know, it was my mother's job way back.
Oh.
So when things with the book industry began shaking, I just decided to try my hands on. It was there that I got to know that truly I love baking.
Oh.
So it wasn't something that came to me or something that I had planned. It just was just an experimental something, and then it took me by surprise by what I could do with it. So I say bread is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
To me. Yes, I would say that.
To everyone, I'm sure. To everyone.
Of
so
course.
You didn't start as a baker or a caterer, nothing?
Nothing. I've never been to any baking school before.
For real?
I've never, yes. Yeah, I would say it's lately. That was in 2018 that I went to Richmond. It's a Swiss school to actually do science behind bread. Other than that, I have no exposure. I would say, yes, I have the exposure, but no other
formal
education
okay.
in the bread or in food industry.
Really?
But I have had a restaurant before, Floxy's restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I think I have a passion for something like that. Just that it took me some time to realize that I was actually good at doing that. Yeah.
Oh, it took you some time. This is what I love. Time.
Yes.
Will tell. So you took some time to realize that you were a natural baker without even knowing. And
yeah.
That was your mother's business?
That was, yes, when we were kids. Yes, she was doing that. And actually, she was I can say I took most of my motivation from her because she was into so many things. She does a lot of things.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Anything that could get her moving. That was what
to look after the kids.
Of course,
such a hard
of course.
Woman. She's still alive.
Yeah, she
Mommy,
is.
please, her name?
She's not in Ghana. So,
but I believe she's watching because we are all over.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
a great mother indeed.
Yeah.
So she impacted the baking genes into you unknowingly. Okay.
Of course, yes.
So when you were a kid, were you baking? Like, were you playing? Because some people said that when they were young, they were singing. So they became great. So you two, were you playing with some dough here and there without knowing?
Would I even say that? You know, kids are very lazy when it comes to baking. So I wouldn't say I was, because my kids are very, very lazy when it comes to baking.
Okay.
Just the first one that sometimes he tries his hands on doing some pizza and some cakes and all that. But you know, kids, and when you are a kid, you don't really realize what you really want to do until you get to a level where that thing is useful to your very existence. Then you start to probably engage in it. Okay. So I wasn't really playing with dough.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say that.
Okay, but now.
But I think that now that I'm in it, I really enjoy it.
You really enjoy it. I can tell. I mean, it's obvious.
Yes.
It's so obvious.
Yeah.
And you see, the beautiful cake Auntie has brought us. We'll get to that later. She surprised us with a beautiful cake. And what are the few benefits of bread? Is it just for us to consume and eat and get some carbohydrates in our stomach, or to get filled? What is bread? Because most of us don't know what bread is.
Yeah, actually, when we talk of bread, there's so much that I can say that we don't know. And I think it's about time that we care so much about what we eat, because without it, there isn't much we can do for ourselves in terms of our health. So bread is no more becoming a luxury food, because when we were kids, you see that you can only get bread on your table when somebody is traveling to visit a family or something like that. But lately, bread has become something like a step. Everybody is eating bread. Yes. You snack on it. You take it as a main meal and all that. And even first, it was for just the middle class and the upper class. But now everybody eats bread. Even if you go to the villages, everybody eats bread. But that's where the problem is. What are we doing in it that is not really helpful to us? That is why, after venturing into this kind of business, I decided to go to school and to learn more and to learn about the science behind it, because there's so much going on that when you come to our settings in Ghana, we don't do it. And it is very, very critical that we start to learn, because it shouldn't be seen as an apprentice kind of job. Bread should be seen as a main, a profession,
career.
Exactly,
Yes.
that we should go to school and learn, so that we'll be able to conform, or if I should say that, we'll be able to go by the trends or what is happening. Because in the olden days, I wouldn't say olden days per se, but some time past, there were some things within the bread flour that wasn't really helping bakers. So they had to introduce chemicals like the potassium bromate and other things, iodate, in order to strengthen the dough, so that they would have some kind of profit with their businesses. And then later on, research showed that these things that they introduce into the flour to strengthen the dough are carcinogens. They can actually affect our health and are cancer-causing agents. But still, we use them.
We still use them?
We still use them.
My God.
Just because we don't know.
Ignorance.
Because we are not taking our time to really research into the food that we eat. Because remember, you are what you eat. And it's becoming obvious that we're getting so many chronic diseases just because we're not eating right. And so if we can eat right and we can reform, a lot of things could change.
Oh, wow. Ignorance really causes us to perish.
Of course, it does. But here's the case that would I even say that it's ignorance?
Okay.
Yes, it could be part, but then most of it is like we haven't taken our time. Would I say negligence? Probably. Because we haven't really taken our time to go into research into what we eat. And that is very serious.
We take anything
Anything.
goes. But
Anything
our health
goes.
is our wealth, and our health is our life.
Of course.
Because when you die, everything else is done.
Yes, it sees it. So that's it. So when we talk of bread, there's so much. There's so much that we need to do. That is why we introduced the Breaducation on GTV
Yes,
to really
watching. Awesome.
to educate the public. And I can tell you that it has really helped. And we get a lot of calls from people telling us they didn't know this, they didn't know that, and they are glad they can, and all that. Because, for instance, if you take something like wheat bread, normally wheat bread shouldn't, we don't have wheat bread here, but if you take, this is moringa, if you take something like a wheat bread.
Awesome. Moringa bread. And
Anytime you go.
Bread I like the big one.
So you can break it. Yes, a lot of people do that.
Okay, wow.
You take wheat bread, for instance. Normally, if you go to the health facilities, they will recommend that kind of bread for people with diabetes and
really?
and hypertension and all. But how do we bake it? Because if you are recommending that kind of food for somebody to combat a particular illness or to help, there are certain things within that actually should be looked into.
Okay.
For diabetics, it's difficult for your body to digest the margarine and all that. So in the process of doing that, your insulin level is always going to go up and all that. But how many people know? And even if you are to use margarine in baking that kind of bread, what type of margarine? Because a lot of the margarine on the market now contains hydrogenated oils. And I know you know hydrogenated oils, the trans fat. And trans fat causes the blockage in arteries, and then we get heart attack. It has a whole lot. But trans fat, actually, or what is called hydrogenated oil, it's like a fat that is used to preserve or extend the shelf life of margarine or oils, right? And it's actually used in the production of most of the creams and all that. But to extend the shelf life, you need of oil, some oils and some margarine. You need to incorporate that into it.
Okay.
But this trans fats is very dangerous to our very existence. And that is what is causing a lot of people to have sicknesses that they don't know where it's coming from.
Wow.
Because I don't know if you remember, when we were kids, they used to tell us that diabetes and hypertension are for are for the rich. But why is it now that everybody is getting it? We haven't really taken our time to go into what we're eating. And so I think there's so much to be learned when it comes to bread, since it's becoming a major part of our food now.
Bread is becoming a major part of our food now. And I think it should be 70 to 90% of most Ghanaians eat bread almost every day.
I tell you, because like, for instance, you are coming home and you're stuck in the traffic, you are hungry, there's a bread seller on the road. And you know, bread is one of the foods that contains almost all the nutrients, because it's a food that doesn't need further preparations.
Yes.
So you are hungry, you can just grab one and start eating. But what are you eating?
What are you eating?
Yes, that's what is important. What are you eating? And if you are eating something that is going to complicate your very health or your very existence, then why do you do that?
Why do you do that? But we have to be healthy enough to stay
Yeah,
long.
God will do his parts,
Yes.
but I remember, I think we should do our own as well. Yeah, so when sometimes you educate people on these things, then they come to the realization that, wow, we've not been doing something right, and we should start doing something. Because I tell you now, there is bread for every lifestyle. If you want, you get bread for every lifestyle. So are the flour production. Now we have a company in Germany where sometimes we buy some of our flour from. They have researched further to have flour specific for different lifestyles. So if like you're diabetic, you have your flour. If you have a problem with your cholesterol, there's flour for that. If you want to lose weight, there's flour for that.
Really?
Yes, there's so much going on, so much research into, because it's becoming something we cannot do without.
Yes.
And you know, Ghana, it's not really common, but outside you see that bread is a major part of their meals.
Yes, very true.
Yes.
Very, very true.
Bread is a major part of every meal. You have to take it during breakfast, dinner, everything served, there is bread with it.
Wow.
So that's why it's important that we too invest into the study or whatever research we want to do, so that we can use our local herbs and all that, incorporate it for us to get the maximum benefits of what we eat. Yes.
Okay. Well, we've been speaking to Mrs. Florence Ofori Agyemang, and she's a specialist in bread and any other pastry, anything you can talk about. A very wonderful, beautiful inside out. And today we are talking on the topic, my talent, my bread and more. And she's educating us on the need to eat wholesome and good bread, because bread, should I say, can make you or break you, because it forms a staple part, a very, very vital part in most of our diets in Ghana and beyond. But most of us just take it anyway, anyhow. The essence of this program is to let you know that you have so much in you and you have to develop it. So if you don't live to the age which you should live because you are eating stale or probably contaminated bread, you can die before coming out with the talent God has put in you. Hence this topic, my talent, my bread and more. Let's go back to Auntie Florence for more. So Auntie Florence, bread is important, but we need to eat good bread.
Sure.
Let's liken it to our lives. God has put so much in us, but most of us are not developing it. Our talent is still like bread. It is contaminated like bread, or it's not even being, harnessed at all. I know that your talent has given you bread, which is food, and more, clothes, everything else. What do you think about the youth and the people out there who are just folding their arms and believing manna to fall from heaven? Manna was bread, I suppose.
Sure.
Or it was flour for bread.
Yeah.
What do you think? Wow.
I'm
already satisfied.
You know, sometimes people think that they cannot do anything to help themselves or go beyond what they already know. Just that they are so afraid to venture into other fields. So they are afraid to go out of their comfort zones to explore what life can offer them.
So does bread boost the immune system? Does
Yes.
it help us?
Yes, that's why I said there are specific bread for you. Like when you take something like moringa bread, for instance, this is not a common bread you see everywhere. And it is baked with olive oil and then about 4 different types of seeds and honey.
Wow.
And then the moringa in it. Moringa actually boosts your immunity.
Oh.
And then we have sesame seeds, we have sunflower seeds, we have pumpkin seeds, and then we have the flax seeds. All of these boost your immune system, and it's add bulk to you, so I would say like gives you a lot of roughages. And what it does, roughages or fiber does to the body is that it extracts the toxics so that you can expel them.
Okay, okay.
Right.
So it gives you
So,
free bowels.
yes.
Okay.
So, some people will say, I don't eat bread because it gives me constipation and all that.
Okay.
If you're constipated because of a particular bread you're eating, then you haven't gotten the one that will suit you.
Okay.
So, such a person shouldn't eat very refined bread
like this.
like
Okay.
yes. But you should eat bread that contains a lot of fiber.
Fiber.
Like you take our wheat soya, for instance. This is wheat, soya beans, honey, sesame seeds.
Honey, sesame seeds.
Yes.
Natural.
Yes.
Wow.
And it will never ever constipate you. I tell you, those who have problems when they eat bread in terms of constipation can easily take this and they can attest to it. That you can never be constipated when you eat this. But if you are constipated and you are always eating the refined ones, that's where the problem is. So just get to know your body and choose the right kind of food that suits the body. That's all there is to it. Yeah.
So, with this era of COVID-19, if
Sure.
we eat good bread, we can be safe and immune from COVID-19.
Yes, because since your kids will be snacking on a lot of biscuits and other things, I would suggest that when you get them something like this, of course, it's not going to taste very, very sweet in their mouth, but you can trust me, if you taste it, it's going to be good for you. And for kids, they wouldn't like to eat a lot of seeds and all that. But with time, they will get to know and they would appreciate. So it is very important that you take this moment that we are in to introduce children to healthy diet and that they can grow up with it. Yes. Because we have the moringa, we have the tiger nut, we have millet for diabetics. We have a wider range of bread. So anytime you come to Bakerz Relish, you even call me. Some people call me, they'll tell me, these are the problems that I have. Can you develop a recipe for me out of that? We do that as well.
So
we do customized bread. Yes,
wow,
we do customized bread.
Wonderful.
Yes.
We have to invest into our food, into our bread, because after all the hard work, when we fall sick and we die, someone else will take our money and spend it. So we should buy quality bread.
Yeah.
Because we eventually eat bread
every day.
This is a thought that we really have to look through and think through. Because why should I eat something that would dig my grave when I can pay more and stay alive and pursue the God-given talents?
One thing we lose focus of is that when you are buying something and you complain per the price, okay, the bread is very expensive. 15 cedis, very, very expensive. Why would I buy bread 15 cedis whilst I can buy 2 cedis bread or 1 cedi bread? Before you make that decision, ask yourself, am I ready to spend over 20 cedis to buy medicine to treat the body? If you're able to answer that question for yourself, then that's okay by that's no problem.
I think we lose more than we gain.
Of course.
Yes. Oh, wow. This is awesome. This is awesome. Viewers out there, please, let's buy the right bread. And let's buy from good places. And be assured of good health. Because seriously, most of us are dying of cancer, diabetes, and even COVID. Because from what Auntie Florence said, it boosts our immune system when we eat very good and healthy bread. So let's invest into bread, and we shall live long to fulfill that promise and the treasures that God has put in us. Auntie, so before we round up my bread and more, because I believe you are an expert, and we could talk all day because you are just on point. What do you think about the youth out there who are not utilizing their talents? You started after so many years of probably wandering, like me. I was wandering in the bush looking for gold as a geologist, not knowing I was a teacher, and I should rather take gold out of children and develop them. But I wandered for some time before I came to what God really has for me. You also did likewise. Tell the youth out there where and how they can find the bread that God has put in them and develop it to get what they ought to get.
All right. Life is full of risk. I tell people, if you really want to succeed in this life, you should be able to take risk, and bigger ones if the need be. Because, for instance, as we sit here, God forbid, one of us could collapse and die instantly. The chair could just break and you can hit your spine or whatever, but we are still sitting. When you are walking, there isn't any assurance that you go beyond one step without breaking your feet or whichever way.
Yes, that's true.
But we do that.
Yes.
So is life, and if you really want to succeed, so should life be looked like into in that perspective. So try to go out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Try to venture into new things. Do not let the fear entrap the things that within you could be beneficial to you and to others. The moment you are able to do away with the fear, then you will know that you have a lot within you that you can really explore to help others. But you know, most of us, before we do anything, we keep asking ourselves, is this thing going to succeed? Am I so? Of course, people are very lazy. A lot of them are extremely lazy. But then, those who really want to succeed, go out of your comfort zone, take risk. Better risks, not any risks at all, calculated ones, and then you will succeed. And now that we are home, even I was just talking to one university, he's not a graduate, student.
Undergraduate.
Yes, and I was telling him that, look, now you are home, and you do virtually all your lessons on the net. So why don't you use the times that are in between to get something to do?
Yes.
I was telling him that you can come sell my bread.
And make
At
some
least
money.
you can get some money.
Yes.
Instead of you to sit home and think that your parents will be able to support you
Manna should fall from
and
heaven.
manna should fall from heaven.
Yeah.
Go beyond that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Create life for
Create
yourself.
life. Wow.
If not for you, for others.
Yes.
Because I used to tell my kids, once I was watching some program on DS, there's this kid who after every vacation will go from door to door, bake some kind of cookies and sell and get the money. Do you know what she does with the money? She will bring it to Africa because she's been seeing very hungry people, starvation and all that. So I was watching TNT. There's a religious channel on DSTV.
Okay.
So you know she will get that money and then always will pledge her part and all that. Why can't we do that? So if not for you, others are in need of your help.
Wow.
So you should get up and do something.
Get up and do something. I just want you to give me a gist of the process of bread making. For people to realize that life is like bread making. Nobody really wants half-baked bread because I believe half-baked bread is the worst thing you can eat. So a gist of the process of bread making and liken it to the process of we developing our talent to come out as fresh bread for everyone to enjoy.
Nothing comes easy. You take time to develop. All right. So, for instance, bread, we need to get the flour. The flour will come from the wheat. The farmer that planted the wheat, you have no idea the troubles and the trauma that the farmer might have gone through before getting the wheat for you. And then, you extract the flour from it. You bring it to the bakery, and then, the processes that goes. It's about life. It's like you're trying to polish something. Because when they take the wheat, you are a geologist, right? So you know how gold is extracted. And it's not like you can go and just see it as shiny as every. You need to work on it. So you need to work on yourself and your talents.
Yes.
Nothing comes easy.
Nothing comes
so
easy.
you should see life like that.
You should see life like that. Auntie Florence has said it all. You should see life like baking bread. It's a process, and this process takes time from the wheat to the flour to kneading,
the baking, kneading, and all
everything. I'm a geological baker. Then the bread comes out beautiful, and everyone enjoys. It takes time. It's just like developing your talent. As we've always been speaking on the Pillars Golden Moments, we believe everyone has a specific gift and talent God has put in them. That is what we call the gold. Auntie Florence, we are so glad. And you are such a wonderful and generous woman to bring me a beautiful cake. Call it Ranti Show.
Yeah.
This is the Golden Pillars Show. And you see, we believe in one thing. This cake is beautiful. And our lives have to be beautiful like this so that everyone will desire. The way I'm in a hurry to close and eat this cake, you won't believe it. And my cameraman are just on me. It's so beautiful. And it's as beautiful as you, obviously.
Thank you.
Can you give us your final words? But before that, I want to ask you a golden question. That is the portion that I ask you anything as led by the Spirit of God. If you were chosen to be the running mate of our current president, to push the agenda of bread and women and empowerment and any other thing just for a year, will you take up that position and why? The way you laugh is so funny.
Yeah. I wouldn't go straight to what you were asking me.
Okay.
But what I want to say is every country now that wants to get to provide comfort to its citizens and all that should take industrialization and skill as a major part of it. I see ourselves of being too much of book-long people. We study, we don't put it into practice. It's about time that governments invest in skillful ventures and try to let others feel that they can contribute their quota to the country and whatever. Because when this COVID thing started, you can see that there's a boy who has invented a bucket. But mostly, people from that kind of background are looked down upon, which I find very, 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 very disheartening.
Yes.
Because how can somebody compare themselves with somebody with a skill? If you have a skill, nobody can take it away from you. And that can put food on your table. Whereas, yes, book is very important, but then there should be a balance. We should all look at those people as the same. It's like when people, I've had the opportunity of people looking at me to say, oh, you are a baker. They don't know what I do. Yes.
Really?
When I even started, because I do a lot, and they don't know I've been to school before. They think that every baker hasn't, so they'll just look down upon you. But that's not the situation. The fact that you see me baking doesn't mean that is where I am, or that is what I have within me. So we should try to see those people with skills as important as people with books and with knowledge as well.
Yes.
That will help us go further.
So does that answer your question?
The country should invest in industrialization. That is what would really, really push us all forward.
Okay.
Because if you have something to do, if somebody we all move forward like that. But you be dependent on me if you don't have anything doing to help.
Okay.
Yeah. So we should bring everybody on board.
We should bring everyone on board.
Sure.
So if you were supposed to be the vice president, you would push this agenda, or you sit back and advise them? Which one? Because I want to get that clear.
I don't know.
You don't want to go I know she doesn't want to go into politics, but what you said is just on point.
Yeah.
We should admire and push skill and output instead of books and academia. It's like books.
They are all very important, but one shouldn't be up whilst, yes, there should be some kind of balancing within the system.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wise, young woman. She's so young, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Auntie Florence. You really taught us a lot on breaducation. Oh, yeah, I like that word.
Breaducation.
So
I credit it's bread
and
education. So we just
breaducation.
combined and said
wow.
breaducation.
So we're talking to Auntie Florence Ofori Agyemang, the CEO of Bakerz Relish, a wonderful big-time bakery, and they bake anything. They even customize bread for clients, considering their health and their status. This is unheard of, and she's going all over the world talking for us to have the need and the essence and the knowledge about eating the right bread to make us live long, to fulfill our dreams in life. And today, I think she brought us moringa bread.
This one is fruits.
Fruit bread.
Yes, and this is wheat soya.
This is wheat soya bread.
And we have about 19 varieties
19
that you can
varieties.
choose from. Yes.
Oh, I think
we have banana, we have millet, we have a lot of them.
Wow. So her number will be scrolling down this, the viewing. You can just call Auntie Florence anytime to customize bread for you. And remember, invest in your bread and you live long to fulfill your dreams. Auntie, so much. Before you go, this is our golden pillar. We know you're already a golden pillar. But we just want to use as a symbol to tell you that continue to be a pillar. I know you have a school training young girls and men in bread and doing other things. So people, you can come, look at this knowledgeable woman telling you bread is important. Come to her school, contact her, let her train you. So this is a pillar for you, just signifying that please be a pivot and hold others. And also, we have a little package for you. This is, I think it's an apron and something small. It's not much, but just for the pillars.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But
yes,
before you go, I'd like to give you a little surprise because I'm full of surprises. So please hold it this way so I can help you. All right. So here we go. Da-ka-da-pa-da. This is for you.
Oh my goodness! Oh really?
It's so loud.
Thank you.
So I'd like to read this for you.
Whoa, my goodness.
You see? So this is relishly delivered.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yummy. What an arrow of delicacies. Bread so fresh.
My goodness.
Healthy and smooth like a newborn baby's flesh. It's a skill learned so well. A talent distinctly developed. But let's pause here and see. That bread we relish came by a process. A defined process, step by step. This issue I must address. Mixing the dough with wisdom, a unique skill. Kneading with diligence. Remember, hard work does not kill. Molding with tact and endurance.
That's true.
That's
true.
Baking with temperance. That aroma from the oven will. Waiting with patience until the bread is ready for the belly to feel.
Yes.
He
True.
said yes.
Yes, it's true.
All other processes are needed, an array of strategies. To make it ready, bread that everyone desires. For no one ever wants to eat half-baked bread, right? Then you will appreciate the need for a complete process. Life is full of possibilities and many necessities. Just like bread, you need to go through the complete process, even the oven's heat.
It's sure.
No stage you can avoid.
Yeah.
Then your talent will come out like bread, fresh and sweet, a taste you can't beat. Like any relish bread, you can't resist. Want to be resisted,
Wow.
Relish that taste, man.
That's so nice.
We appreciate you, Auntie Florence, for teaching us a lot today. This is wisdom, relishly delivered. We will learn and work at it. From the development of our talents, we will not retreat. You have made us understand that indeed, my talent is bread and more. This is really relishly delivered.
Oh my goodness.
I wrote this for you.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My goodness, it's so beautiful.
It's so
Thank
just
you. I
like you.
appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you
At
so
least
much.
expected. Thank you.
You're welcome. I took time. Well, I was led by the Holy Spirit to empower you.
Wow.
You're doing so well.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you
you.
really
So I'm really
relishly-
going to hang this in my office.
Yeah, you
Actually, I'll
should.
hang it in Accra, my shop. Everybody comes, they will see.
Wow. I tell everybody that I write
Yes.
the best citations
I
in
tell
the
you,
world. You know that?
I do.
Hey, I'm a writer too. And
I have to hang one here.
Okay, so we
and
should do
then
two for you. Okay,
I
let
have
me.
to.
Okay, I'll duplicate it for you
Yes,
because I have the soft copy.
yes, I have to hang one here. I have to hang one. All my shops will have one.
Oh, this is awesome. Wow, I can't wait.
Thank
Come,
you.
The Holy
Thank
Spirit.
you.
And thank you so much. And you know
I
what?
really
When you
appreciate
came,
that.
the Holy Spirit told me to remove my earrings because of you.
Oh.
I didn't know why, but look at that. She's an SDA and she's a staunch member and she's a wonderful woman of God. See how the Holy Spirit can even instruct me to do something to honor her. So I thank you so much for coming. And before then, please, anyone who wants to eat the cake should come because when I cut it, I'm going to eat it alone. Thank you so much. You know, one good turn deserves another. You didn't know that.
No, I
really
did. I
glad.
didn't.
So please, can I have my blah, 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 and cut my cake? So, Auntie, you help me cut the cake. Viewers, please come and help me. Come and help me cut the cake. So we cut this cake.
Okay.
Please,
I have
can
to say
sit.
it. Okay.
you want to come? Okay. So you're going to help me cut the cake. I will not cut it, so the pillar should be here. Okay. So maybe let's help. This is my crew. Okay. So I'm going to help me cut the cake. Auntie, please help me cut the cake. And we cut this cake to the glory of Relish and also Pillars Gold Moment. Hip, hip, hip. Ah, okay. Okay. So let's serve it. And Auntie, Winifred, let's serve it and take it in. Okay. So thank you so much. Beautiful cake. And you know I like yellow. I'm a gold woman.
Yeah,
I think you are really in the spirit.
Yes,
thank you
I
much.
know.
God bless you, Auntie.
Yeah.
I've had a wonderful time with you. And I really know God has blessed you. He's going to take you very far beyond your imagination. And I believe that you deserve a higher position in Ghana and more honor than what you are receiving. And very soon it's going to come. God bless you so much.
Thank you so much.
Viewers, this is all we can say. In fact, I don't know, but I'm so blessed. The bread has really entered me. When you harness your talents, you get blessed and you develop your talents to bring you bread and much more. If you want the cars, the houses, anything you want, just develop your bread like Mrs. Florence has done. And she has come out with so much success for herself because she focused on developing the gold and the bread God has put in her. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ranti Ajaku, and always know that whenever you watch any of our videos, just like it, share it to all your friends, and let them be blessed. My attire was by one of my daughters. She's Auntie Monica of Monique Fashions. If you want anything from her, just see me. See how she branded me? I'll tell you the secret behind this, Prof, very soon, okay? And also all my well-wishers. Thank you so much, Golden Pillars, for supporting and sponsoring. Anyone else can come on board and let's have fun. Until we meet next time for another tantalizing and awesome topic geared towards developing our talents, I want to say thank you so much. Medasi, nyumo ajobu, nyankopon shrao, nagode imposia, merci beaucoup. Bye.